So if you don't know, Sinead O'Connor died at 56. The question I'm having is not why she died. I mean, there's not anything documented, like people are being hush-hush, or families being hush-hush as to why she died. Everyone's thinking it's mental health issues, the fact that her son died the year before. Probably true. My question is, she was diagnosed as bipolar. Why wasn't she diagnosed borderline? So what's the difference between bipolar and borderline? Past couple of days, I've seen a lot of videos on Sinead O'Connor. What's true is that she didn't want to be a pop star. You know what I mean? That's why she was rebellious. When I first heard of her, The Lion and the Cobra, I mean, she was coming out of that, like, punk alternative type scene. And I believe when it was just a fluke that she did the Prince's Nothing Compares to You and became global, you know? I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm actually starting this video because I'm trying to get myself out of here. I didn't get enough sleep. I went to bed pretty early, and then I couldn't sleep, and then I was doing a whole bunch of crap. Now I have a coffee, and I ate. So that's me. So what's the difference between... Ow. What's the difference between bipolar and borderline? I mean, it's changes in mood for sure, you know. The difference, from what I understand, is what bipolar is a chemical imbalance that has to be treated with medication. Borderline medication don't really help. Maybe it might alleviate some symptoms, but no, it's your personality, you know. In terms of changes in mood, like for borderline, for bipolar, you can go manic for quite an extended time. You know, it could be days, weeks, I'm sure. And the same for depression. Whereas in borderline, it's within an hour your moods are changing all the time. So for myself personally, I can't listen to my moods because I won't get anything done, and it's still difficult. There was something that kind of struck me as a main difference. I mean, with borderline, your identity, you don't know who you are. You don't know your core values. You don't know anything, you know? And so you're always adapting to whoever you're with. And then you're like, oh, I'm going to be them. So my values will reflect them, et cetera, you know? The whole chameleon type thing, I believe. That was me. That still is me in a certain sense. With Sinead, I mean, she was controversial. She picked something and she stuck with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, she got married 4 times. Yeah, she went to religion. She became a pope, or she tried to be, or in the same religion as the pope. She went through stuff like that. But listening to some of her videos, she wasn't against religion. So it seems to be, and it's part of the Irish culture. I mean, you have to be Catholic. You have to be religious, and she was always it was always a factor of her life. So I don't think it was off from what her identity was and who she was, you know. So in that respect, I think she was pretty consistent with who she was and kind of knew who she was, you know. So that's probably why she wasn't borderline. And one more thing I wanted to touch on. Some people stated after she died, was it Morrissey or was it someone else? Um, because, you know, everyone's showing their love and support. They weren't doing it while she was alive. You know, a lot of people hated her. The record industry was taking advantage of her. You know, all that stuff. And it can be said that, you know, she for borderline, it's like we react towards real or imagined rejection, and she's getting rejected right and left. You know what I mean? But I don't think for her case, it's just like hers was pretty real. You know what I mean? So I can't use that for borderline. I think people do experience rejection, and that's that when, and besides, for borderline you have to have 5 out of the 9 criteria. You know, one of them being a sense of imminent or real or perceived rejection, emotional instability. I can't think of the rest of them right now. No sense of identity. You don't know. You know, identity disturbance. Yada yada yada. So that's that.